Now we're going to take our bar shape and we're going to apply an E major chord to it. What we're going to do is play the E major chord, but instead of using the index, middle, and ring finger, what I want to do is I want to substitute and play my middle, ring, and pinky finger. Play the E major chord. Then our index finger is freed up so that we can bar the open E, B, and E strings, and then slide up the entire shape, 1 fret, 2 frets, 3 frets, etc. Notice what I'm doing. I've got an E major shape. If I move up all 3 of these notes I'm holding down, I'm fretting, then to keep the pattern consistent, I have to slide up the open E to F, the open B to C, and the open E here to F. That makes the E major shape now an E major shape bar chord, but rooted on the 1st fret, and that's an F chord. Now, when you start playing these bar chords, you might notice that, for example, I'm holding down the A, D, and G strings, so sometimes there's a temptation to let off of those with the bar just to hold on to, just to curve your index finger and use it to hold down the E and the B and the E just on either side of the neck, and then not necessarily push down. I discourage that though, because there are later shapes that you're going to have which these strings in the middle are going to have to ring back at the bar, so don't get tempted into letting off of those and just holding your finger down to hold the bar at the bottom string and the top string. Make sure that even if you take your finger off, you can still hear all those barred notes being held down. Now, theory-wise, this is an incredibly important concept and tool. Notice that by playing my E major shape and barring it and moving it up 1 fret, just like the note E and the note F are separated by 1 fret, you go a half step up from E, any E, and it's an F, E, F, E, F. I take the entire E major chord shape and I slide it up 1 fret, all of a sudden it's an F major chord. It's got an E shape. This is called an E-shaped bar chord, E major shaped bar chord, but because it's rooted on the note F, down here on the E string, it's an F major chord. Likewise, I go up another fret, and this is an F sharp major chord. Up at the 3rd fret, that note G, I play an E major bar chord. It's a G major chord. G sharp major. At the 5th fret, A major. Very quickly you can see that what happens is by simply knowing this one E major bar chord shape, now I have a way of playing every major chord, all 12 chromatic notes. I can play an E major, and then I can move it up 1 fret and give an F major, an F sharp major, a G major, a G sharp major, an A major, an A sharp major, a B major, a C major, a C sharp major, a D major, a D sharp major, and then all the way up to the double dots, I get back to E again. That's an E major chord, an octave higher than this one. For the practice of purposing, however, right now, it's best as a beginner simply to come back over here like I suggested at the 5th fret, where we started to learn how to move our bar around a little bit, and play the E major shape at the 5th fret, which means of course that it's an E, F, G, A. It's an A major chord. Slide that one up and down 1 fret at a time. Get used to that. Practice that as your first bar chord.